Alright, welcome everybody to the channel. Once again, my name is Keda, like you know. So today basically we shall be looking at the Dorthpro Enterprise software. So we shall be looking at how it works. Dorthpro Enterprise is a major sales and inventory software solutions for businesses, which includes pharmacies, supermarkets, other retail stores. Okay, so we shall be looking at how it works. We have our Dorthpro SaaS, but today we shall be looking at our Dorthpro Enterprise system. So this one is customized for basically all clients, so regardless of whatever you do, it's customized to suit you. We have different variants of Dorthpro, so I shall be showing you through today how the main one works, but we shall dive in. We shall be looking at the different variants as we go on. So we shall see how do we navigate over it, what does it do, what does it entails, right? So okay, so welcome. Okay, so let's move on. Now, first of all, Dorthpro, it's an online system in the sense that you must have internet on your system for it to work properly, such that you can access it. With that in mind, you will be able to access it on any of your internet-enabled device, be it on your phone, your laptops, your desktop, so long you have internet. So you can access it anywhere you are in the world. So with your device, you can just bring out your phone and click, and you just bring out your phone, open the software and check your sales, check your inventory, check whatever you want to check, your profits, your expenses and everything. So it manages everything's all encompassing. So like I said, it's customizable depending on you, the client, what you want. Then we can customize it to suit you. So like I said, this is the basic features of Dorthpro. It's not limited to this, so we can add more depending on your request. Okay, let me explain first with the dashboard. So like I said, everybody will have a username and a password. So I just logged in as an admin. So you as an admin or the owner of the business, your dashboard will look like this, the way it is, but your sales rep and others, their dashboard is different. They won't be able to see everything, but you as the owner of the business, you can see everything here. So first we have this notifications icon, where we have this pencil, which is used to make a direct sale. It's a shortcut to make direct sales. So then we have soon to expire. So this tells you items that will expire between the current date and in 3 months time, right? So in here now, if you look at these items, there is no item here. So if by default the system calculates every items in your inventory, calculates the current date and the expiration date. So anyone that will expire between the current date and in 3 months time, it will bring it here and tell you this item or a batch of this item will soon expire. So do whatever you want to do with them. So in here we have expired items. So all the items that have expired in your shop, you will see them here. So like I said, I just called the shop. Now that reminds me, everything you do in Dorthpro is location based. So it means Dorthpro can manage multiple locations. So if you look at the top here, I have branch office, which is the office where I am currently located, right? So I can have multiple locations and Dorthpro with one software. We'll link them together. You just need to, all you have to do is to switch location. For example, as the admin, I can come here under this change store. I go to the main office. You see now my dashboard is changed. You see even the reports, everything. So everything you do on Dorthpro is store based. It's based on the location you are logged into, be it inventory, report, sales. It's based whatever you want to do. You need to check which store you are logged into, right? So you can create your staff and attach them to a store, and then if you want to check the revenue for that store, you can switch and check. If I go back to branch office, you see the dashboard is different, and if I go back to main office, you see everything is different here. So like I said, first one is soon to expire. Coming back to this notifications icon here, soon to expire, there is none in this main office store. Then we have expired items. These are items that you have and now they have expired. If you look at it carefully, you see we have this quantity 3, and this is the total cost, and this is the expiration date. And the next now is items that have reached the other level. So the other level is the level of quantity an item will get to before it tells you it will soon go out of stock, right? So in Dorthpro, once you create an item, every item you create, the default reorder level is 10. but this reorder level is adjustable for each item, so you can adjust it as anyhow you want to. So this is the reorder level. It tells you, oh, these items go out of stock. You can see Milo, the quantity is 10 and the reorder level set for it is 10. You can see Martin fraud, quantity is 1, reorder level set for it is 10, so it's going down the reorder level that has been set for it. So it's telling you more like you can go and reorder, use it to do your out of stock, your OS. Maybe you want to go to the market, or if you're buying goods, you can bring that to your app and your phone, just check and see which item is going out of stock. And there's always room to print this, to send this to Excel. See, there's a button here. You can click every report, there's a button to send to Excel if you want to view them on Excel, right? Then going back to the notification, you see we have out of stock, means the quantity is now 0. These are items that have their quantity 0, so you can check them here. Then lastly, this one is incoming transfers. So there are times items, because we have multiple locations, I can transfer item from one location to another. So once I transfer item, move item from one store to another on the system, there's a notification to tell me that there's an incoming transfer, so I need to accept it into the store. There's only receiving it, putting the expiration date again. You just transfer and accept if the quantity is correct. Okay, so that's for those notifications. And going down to your dashboard, in here we have your daily revenue. As you are selling, it is showing you, it's counting, telling you, okay, this is how much we've sold for today. For example, let's make a quick sale. Let's say I sell Amatem, for example, only have quantity 1. So I sell, let's say, I select the payment is cash, save and print. Okay, so I can print my receipt if I want to. If I don't want to, I leave it there. So now looking at this now, we have our daily revenue, which is 2,800. So as I'm selling, it's updating. So based on what we just sold, the system calculates the cost of sales as well. So the cost of that item sold, and we have our net profit based on your daily revenue, cost of sales, and your daily expense. Then you put in your, the system automatically gives you your profit for that day. So automatically it's calculating your profit on a daily basis, so you know how much you're making from the business based on your revenue, cost of sales, and your expense. So if we post expense, your system automatically calculates our net profit. Okay, going down, we have our daily sales record, as so it's just like a summary showing you all your day-to-day activities, everything you say. So the last sales here is 5th March, which is today. The previous one we have 21st of November, just like that. So as you're selling, it's increasing the values. On a day-to-day, it's recording it, it's showing you everything you are selling, all your transactions every day. Going down, we have our monthly statistics, which shows us our monthly sales. So this is a graph showing you plotting the revenues of each month against the month. So if you see here, we have this one is November, this is March 2025, this is October 2024. So as you're selling, it's increasing. All right, so going down, you see your monthly sales record showing you all your sales records for the month so far, and the average sales you make for each of those months. So it help you to make decisions, analytical decisions, to know how you're faring for each month's sales. Okay, so that's for the dashboard. Like this graph, if you want us to change it, we'll come set you up. We can change it to a bar chart, whatever type of graph. Everything about Dorthpro is customizable. If you don't have multiple stuff, if there's something here that you don't have, if there's something here and not here that you wish to have, yeah, why not? We can customize it for you. Okay, so that's for that. So let's move on now. Looking at the dashboard, that's what we have. Let me log in as a normal user, so you see how your staff's dashboard will look like. So okay, I don't know if I've created any staff here. Let's look at our staff's list and see what we have. So I go to report. If I go to report, I go to list of users. So okay, we have a name here called user. Let's use that. Let me log out. Say user. Then I log in. I think the password is forgotten the password. Let's try it again. User, so it should be 6. All right. Okay. So now, okay, I think this user is created as an admin as well. So let's change the role of this user. So the system enables you to also change the role of a user. So maybe that user, you don't want that user to be an admin, you can change the role. If I come here, click on change role, click on this, select. So let's say I want to change this person to just a cashier or a sales rep. I update. So if we log in with that user again now, user. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you see now, this is what this user has. So based on the notifications are still there, it's tied to the main office. You see, he only sees his own transactions, the total customers he has sold for, and his daily transactions. As he's selling, the system is recording. He can only see what he's selling, right? And mind you, these menus you see here, they do not belong to everybody. So you can decide who you want to give. All of these menus you see, I can remove it from this user and I can add to them if I want to add to them. Okay, right. So let's move on. So now looking at this, let's move on just a minute. Okay, so let's log in back as an admin. Let's move on to let's look at the menus. Now looking at it, we've seen the dashboard, what it does. Now let's look at some of the menus and see how it works, and also look at the financial reports. When we're off for training, then you know when we'll set up for you, we'll train you and see how it works. So looking at the admin menu, there are certain things you can do with the admin menu. The admin menu is meant for setup. So we have where you can add your users. To add the user, just for you to enter their full name. Let's say I put something like this. Something like put in the username. Username is always a single word. Put in the username, then you put in select the role, admin, cashier, sales rep, inventory officer. If you select them as an admin, their dashboard will look like yours, and you may be able to see certain things. And you can create them as a cashier or a sales rep. Let me create this person as a cashier. So both they're basically the same thing. See, we have multiple locations there, so you have to tie them to any location you want to tie them to, so they can have access only to that location's inventory and records, right? Like this person, let's say I put this person in the main office. So once you create a user, system creates a default password for that user. The default password is 123. 123 is the default password. So once you put in that 123, system tells you to go and change the password. So like this user I just created now, if I should log out, I put in the username, I put in 123. What happens is that it takes me to a page where I need to change my password. So I can enter a new password, then confirm the new password, and once I'm done, I click on change password, and that's it. So let me see. The password is a minimum of 6 characters. You must use a minimum of 6 characters. So it can be a mixture of capital letters, symbols, or however, but it must be minimum of 6 characters. So if you see, once I sign in now, you say this user I just created, you can see the name here. Alright, to notice that James says on the left you see he has no menu, so you will be the one to give the person the rights. Alright, so we'll look at that. Alright, so if you go to sales menu, if you go back to admin menu, there are other things you could do. You could disable a user if you don't want that user to have access to the software anymore. You can just click on the username, click on the serial number, and disable. You can activate a user back. Okay, you can also reset their password. Eventually they say they forget their password, you can reset their password. So you can add different categories of your items depending on what you do. So you can put your categories of different items. There are some people like pharmacies, they just put one single category, pharmacies. However, if they have a pharmacy and supermarket, they can break it down to pharmacy and supermarket. The essence of this is that there's a report called revenue by category. Let's go to our financial report. If you go to our financial report now, you see a report called revenue by category. This breaks down all your revenue you generate based on category, right? So you want to know what's coming in from, you see here, pharmacy. If I sell another item, for example, let's see, I don't know which item, do you have any item? Coke, right? Okay, let's sell Coke, for example. Once I sell Coke, let's say POS, this is POS today. then save and print. So in this case now, if I go back to my revenue by category now, you see now the system will be registering, showing you how much you're making from each department. So you see the gross profit for each categories. Pharmacies is what we make. You can even click on it to show you which items were sold under that category. Right, it shows you which items were sold under that category. That's the essence of categorizing your items. So how do you add your items? It's simply straightforward. Click on add items, select your item category, pharmacy, then you put in the name of the items. Let's say Panadol Extra, for example. Put in the barcode. If there's no barcode, you can leave it and just save your items, right? If there's no barcode, you leave it. Yeah, for pharmacy items, you don't like entering the barcodes, but for supermarkets, you can enter the barcode. When entering the barcode, just take your scanner, scan the item, and voila, you receive. You just enter. Please don't type in the number on the barcode. Make sure you scan it when it enters. Okay, so this is just to create the item as an entity. This is not where you put in the quantity and all that, right? So if we go to, let's go back to reports. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. It's just for you to flow. So if you go back to item list, you see the list of all the items you've created on this system. These are the items that you have, not quantity, but just the list of items that you have. Anything that has to do with quantity would go with the inventory menu, right? Okay, so let's see how we receive items now before we sell, right? So like I said, we spoke about reorder level. Under the inventory, you can set the reorder level for individual items. For example, like let's say this chlorpromazine, I can click here and change the reorder level to 5. Maybe because it's not a fast selling drug, I can say, okay, let me reduce it to 5. Only when the quantity gets to 5 before then the system can tell me to go and reorder for that item. So if you look at stock balance, now stock balance actually shows you what you have, the quantity of items that you have. You see here now we have Panadol 11, Milo 10, Coke. There's no Amatem here because Amatem is finished. Remember we sold Amatem before, right? So you can even, it shows you the total worth of goods you have in that particular store. This is only showing you what you have in your store, in the current store you are logged into. If you should switch your store, let's switch to a branch office, for example. Go to inventory and click on stock balance. You see now we only have this item here. It's not like that. So that's the benefit of having one software managing multiple locations, so you can see what you have in the individual stores, right? So Panadol here, you can click on view. View here means the items could have multiple batches, like this one. I see Panadol here has 2 batches, so each of these batches have different expiration dates. You know, when an item have different expiration date, automatically becomes different batch, right? So when you are receiving your item, you need to make sure you put in the expiration date whenever you go to the market, so it shows you that batch. So okay, that's your stock balance. So if you go to the market and you want to receive your items, or maybe you start using the software for the first time, how do you receive your item? You just come to receive items. When you go to the market to buy goods, you know, they always give you an invoice with an invoice number. So put in the invoice number, select the supplier, the person that supplied you that product. It's very important because the system gives you a report based on supplies, right? So I can select test supplier. If the name of the supplier is not among the list here, it's simple, you can add the supplier. Let's say ABC Limited is the name of the supplier. You can put the contact person, put their phone numbers and their address if they have. Then you save record, then you can go back to receive these items. So put in here the invoice number, select the supplier. So if you select the supplier, so let's say we see ABC Limited now, right? So put in now you start receiving the items in your system that you want to receive quantity. Please, it's important you put in the name of the items that you created, right? So if the item is not in the system, then you can go and create. Please confirm in your item list, from your item list, to be sure that the item is there or not. If it's not there, then you can go and create it. So in here, see, I type in Panadol. I don't need to type in the whole letters. I can use the barcode or I can use the name. So I type in Panadol. You see we have Panadol here before, quantity showing 11. Then let's say it's Panadol Extra I want to receive. So you put in the quantity. Quantity now is based on how you sell. right? If you sell per unit, remember you have to enter your quantity based on per unit as well. So we have, let's say they gave us 50 sachets, we bought 50 sachets. So what's the cost? So this cost price, you have to do your division. Even if you buy in box, you have to enter your cost price in per unit, so that the system can easily calculate your profit when you are selling. When you are selling, you sell per sachet, for example, the system needs to calculate. If you only sell per box or per pack, no problem. So you have to enter the quantity per pack. However, for pharmacies or for supermarket, many items you sell single, that's per sachet. So for example, this quantity, let's say they gave us 100 sachets. What's the cost of one sachet? Let's say the cost of one is 250. Then the selling price, that's the retail selling price, right? So the retail selling price, for example, it's let's say I'm selling at the rate of 400, right? So the retail pack price, now you know there are certain items that you sell in packs. So why retailing them? What I mean here is that, I said, for example, this Panadol, if a customer is buying in pack, I sell one by default per sachet, but a customer wants to buy in packs. So I can decide to say, I want to help these customers. I want to just give them like a discount. If they are selling, if they want to buy in packs, I can discount a certain amount for them. So you can set it up on the system. We call it pack price. So if you don't want to sell in pack, you can leave that one like that. Just sell your normal, do your normal sales. So let's say I can say I want to sell this at the rate of 350 naira if the person is buying in pack. So when setting up pack price, it's important you also put in the pack size. That's pack size means the quantity, the number of sachets that makes up that pack. For example, for this item, for example, let's say Panadol Extra, there are 10 sachets that makes up a pack. So that during sales, there's a button you will click. If you click on that button called pack, sell in pack, once you click on it, the system does a multiplication of this retail pack price by the pack size, right? So this is 10 times 350, gives you the total amount for that pack. That's it. And the next one, you see your wholesale. So you can also set up your wholesale price if your store you do wholesale, right? Like I said, in Dorthpro we have different variants, right? There are some people who only do retail, while for those of you who do wholesale, I just open everything so you all see what it likes. For those who only do retail, you will not see wholesale on yours. But if you do wholesale, you see wholesale here. So you put in the wholesale price. Let's say the wholesale I want to be selling at the rate of 300, and the wholesale pack price, just like I explained for retail pack price. There are some people, since they are doing retail pack price, they don't want to do wholesale pack price. If you want to buy wholesale, buy wholesale. So I'll leave that one there. So lastly, you put in the expiration date of the item, very important. So let's say this item, you can select the expiration date. You can click on this date icon to select your date, or you can type in the date. So if there is no day, always put the last day of the month. Then you put in the month. Let's say this is May, and let's say 2025 here. Okay, once you are done, click on stocking item, click on this button to receive it. You see now, as I click here, it tells me that 100 quantity received, and that if there is a mistake while you are doing this, please immediately click on this delete button to remove it, so you enter the item again. But if there are more items on that same invoice you are entering, you can continue. Let's say we have Amatem now. You click on it, because it's still on the same invoice. You click on it, you see, you put in your quantity, let's say 50. You see the last cost price. You see the cost price we entered. This was the last price we used to purchase this item. If there's a change, we can change it. Let's say now it's now 16. So also you can also change the selling price. If you want to change it here, you can say, okay, I want to change it to 3,000. You see this one, there's no retail pack price. We don't do retail on this, but we have wholesale. Let's say I'm changing it to 27, right? So you can change all of this, right? So you put in the expiration date like you do know. Let's say this one is on the 19th of let's say April 2026, for example, and then click on this button. As you continue this process, it will just be populating. Once you are done, then you can close your stocking. Go back to stock balance. You see now we now have Panadol Extra, we have Amatem, and so on and so forth. So you see our store has increased. That's how you receive items. So if you go back to reports again, see there's a report for everything, and whoever does anything. If you click on purchase report shows you your purchases on a day-to-day basis. Most of the reports on Dorthpro are based on a daily. Okay, so it's based on the current day. However, there's a date range you can use to select a particular day's report, or you want to select a date range, a report based on the date range, right? So this is the purchase register for today. You see the invoice number, see the vendor name, items purchased, and the total amount. So you want to see what you've purchased. If I want to check from a previous day to a previous day, I can say maybe I want to see from November down to November last day, 2024 to today. You search it, you bring out everything showing you all your purchases, and it shows you whoever received it. Going further, if you go back to your still under purchase report, if you come down, there's something we call purchase by item under report. Purchase by item, it's like checking the purchase history of a particular item. That's what it means. So I can come here, select a date range, say me from the 1st of November 2024 down to today 2025, which is March. I select an item, let's say Panadol, click on it. It will show you all the purchase history for this item, whichever vendor you selected it, you purchase it from, at what rate. Let's say we go for Martin, for example. Click on it, shows you everything here. You see, the initial stocking item vendor gave us 10 on this date. We received it. ABC Limited also supplied us. You see at the rate at which he gave us. Okay, so it's like showing you a history of your purchases. There's also purchase per vendor. Purchase per vendor shows you what you purchased from a vendor or by a particular period. So you can see, instead of selecting item now, you're selecting a vendor. So I select the vendor, so you can see everything that this vendor have supplied you over time. Okay, so going further, let's go back to the inventory again. So you see, we've seen how to receive item. The other things in the inventory, you can adjust your quantity. Maybe there's a mistake in your in the items, you want to update them, so you can update the quantity. And mind you, whenever you update whatever you do on this system, the system keeps history, takes a log of everything you do on the system, right? So whoever does an adjustment, the system is capturing your name. Okay, you can also remove an item. Maybe the item has expired, for example. So you click on them. Which batch are you taking from? You can see this batch, 1st of December 2024, it has expired. So I can remove from this batch and say, okay, the O3 I'm removing it. Okay, select your reason due to expiration. You only remove item due to 2 reasons: expiration and damages. But for other purpose, just go to stock adjustment. So I've received those 3. I've removed those 3. You should see now our expired items has now changed to 1. It was 2 before for that particular item. Okay, so let's move on. So still on the inventory, so you can adjust, you can remove. Now there's another thing, you can also transfer item from one location to another, like I said. So you see, let's say you receive the item into maybe your warehouse or your main office, and you want to move them to another location. There's no need going through the process of receiving it, entering quantity, entering expiration date and price and all of that. You just transfer to that location. Select the store, let's see, Panadol Extra that we just bought, and click on it. So you select from which batch are you transferring. So after, let's say I want to transfer 40 to this location. I click on that plus sign. You see, shows me here. I'm not done. I can continue. Let's say I'm transferring about 10 that we just received. 50. Let's say I'm transferring 20 in here. Select and move on. So let's say I'm done. This is what I'm transferring. Once you're done, just click on post transfer, and that's it. So you can print a receipt more like a way bill. The receipt looks like it will be showing you all the items. So it shows you what you're transferring. You can take it to along with the physical product and take it to that particular location, more like a way bill with the receipt for that. So if I switch to the branch office now, you see here now that incoming transfer is now showing 2. That there's 2 items being transferred here. So you see now, once the physical product has arrived, all I need to do is to check what I was given. If I can't physically this one is 40, Panadol Extra is 40. If it's correct, I just click on accept item. So once I click on accept item, automatically it enters into my inventory. Let's confirm that. You go to stock balance. Now you see we now have Panadol Extra 40. Initially we're having just Nivea. If I go back to here, we only have one. If it's not correct, you can reject it. If what you have on ground is not correct, you can reject it. Once you reject it, it goes back to them, and those whoever it goes back to them, inform them, so they accept it back into their system, and they move on from there. So let's accept this. So after accepting this, I go back to my stock balance. You see now we have Panadol Extra in this branch office. Okay, then you can call your office whatever you want to call it, whether branch office, whatever the name you want to call it, or create it. You can update it. So if you go back to, let's check our report. You see here we have accept items report. So today we have accepted these items. These are the items we've accepted. If you want to confirm if you actually accept an item or not. So I refresh my page. You see now we have incoming transfer is now 7. You see soon to expire, it's 1, because the current date, we are currently in March, and today between March and May it's 3 months. It's even more than 3 months. So May is around the area, so that's why it's showing here that it will soon expire. Let's switch back to the main office. Okay, so I believe you understand that that's how you transfer items. So for the main office, we go to the report. Instead of us looking at accepted items report, we'll now look at transfer item report, which shows you excuse me items we transferred from our location. So in there you can click on view. You see it shows you the status, if it has been accepted or not, to which location and whoever accepted that items, right? So that's for that. There are other reports here that you can also see. So for example, we'll look at out of stock, soon to expire, expired items. So that's what we'll be looking from those notifications. We also have item history, which shows you the history of an item, more like your bin card. You can call it your bin card report. In here you can select a date range and put in an item. Select the item. It shows you everything that has transpired for that items over the particular date you selected. Let's select another. Let's select Amatem, for example. So you see Amatem here. This date and this time, the opening balance was 1 and 1 was sold. So as at this time, 1 was sold 1. So the opening balance now is now 0 because we sold 1. As at this time, we now received 50 and so on. So we transferred 20. So one thing about this whole thing, it shows you everything that goes on a particular item. That's the essence of your that's the essence of your item. It shows you everything about an item. Okay, so going forward, coming back to we looked at some of the reports. Let us now go back to sales menu. We see we've looked at direct sales. That's what we'll be looking at. There are other types of sales on Dorthpro. Dorthpro also allows you to do wholesale, right? Like I said, for wholesale, you need to enter the customer name so that the system prints out like a customer statement for you. You see what that customer has bought, and also allows you to give them your products on credit and all that. So for example, I think we have a customer called test customer, for example. If the name of the customer is not there, you can just click on add new customer to put in the customer name. Let's say Jacob Murphy, for example. Put in their phone number, their address, email address if you have, else you continue. So you click on wholesale to make wholesale sales. Click on that name, select the name, then you start making sales, just like the direct sales. Big debate. In this case, you have to select the name of the customer first. Let's say we have Jacob Murphy. What is the what are you selling to Jacob Murphy? Let's say, for example, we're selling Amatem. Why do I spell it this way? So you select it. You see the wholesale price. Yeah, you can, let's say it's buying 2. Come back if it's buying another thing. Let's say Panadol Extra. I click on it. This time it's buying 2. Or you see, you can increase the quantity with this. You can also reduce the quantity with this. but also there's a pencil sign here. You can click on it to show more to increase the quantity. See, the available quantity is 50. You cannot sell more than what you have. That's what it means here. So if let's say I put 200 and I click on update, it tells me available quantity is less than required, so I cannot proceed. So you can only update what you have. So let's say I want to make it fast, just put 10 here. I click on update. So you see the total. Then once you're done, you select your payment type. Very important. So without your payment type, system does not proceed. So for wholesale, you see there are multiple payment types. We have cash, POS, transfer. You can sell on credit. You can sell using the customer's wallet or deposit. Deposit means the customer can deposit a certain amount here. So once you deposit a certain amount, the system now register the remaining amount as credit. Okay, so if it is wallet, so means they must have money in their wallet. But in this case here now, this customer does not have money in his or her wallet, right? So we have cash. If it is cash, transfer, select the bank which the money is being transferred to, save and print. So you can print the receipt and give to the customer, showing them the details of the transaction, right? That's wholesale for you. Then there's another type of sales that we do, call it sales order. This sales order, you know, there are times where a customer would want, there are certain pharmacies or supermarkets where we have the sales rep ordering the items while we have the cashier collecting the money. So in this case here now, for how this works is that the sales rep have the assistant to order the items, while the cashier can be the one also posting the final sales. Okay, so in this case, let's say we are buying Panadol, for example, and we are buying Milo. This person is buying Milo, keep selling. So you see, you can also increase the quantity, like we said. Let's say it's buying 2, 3. So like let's say it's buying Panadol, another Panadol extra. Just like I told you, okay. This is buying Panadol extra. You continue. So in this case, then you see what we have is see post to cashier, right? So you are not posting the final payment. If I click on post to cashier, that doesn't mean it's the end of the transaction. Nothing leaves your event, everything's still intact. I can print my ticket. So the customer takes this ticket to go and give to the cashier. The ticket shows everything that the person is ordering for and the amount is due. So when he takes the ticket to the cashier, the job of the cashier is just to come here, click on post sales order. Once you click on post sales order, it shows all the transactions for that day. So you can put in the receipt number. You can search with the receipt number because there's a receipt number on that ticket you give to the customer. So search and you just click on view all the items. You can reconfirm everything to this customer. If everything is purchasing is correct, if the customer still wants to proceed with the payment, now you can continue to then go to select your payment type, if it is cash, POS or transfer. However, if the customer says no, I can't pay this, I want you to remove some item, it's simple. Just return the person back to where he bought that item. If you return the person back to where he bought the item to the sales rep, tell the person to go back to the sales rep to remove those items. So it's all the sales rep needs to do is to come to the sales menu, click on edit sales order. So you see everything there. Just click on edit. So you see it shows you all the items that were sold before. If it is the quantity you want to reduce, if it is an item you want to reduce, you want to delete, you can delete. Let's say I'm deleting this Panadol extra. So at the end, then just click on post to cashier again. So you print a new ticket. You see everything is now updated. Print a new ticket. So it goes with this new ticket. Then come back here. Come back to post sales order. Then view, and then you can select your payment type. Let's say cash, post, and print. So that's it. So it's basically another way of making sales. Let's see how to make sales using we talked about pack price back then. Let's see. So you see there's a button here in all the items. It's called sell item in pack. So if I click on pack, you see by default it shows me how many pack quantity. So 1. So the pack size is 10. So if I'm buying 2 pack, So it means you see the unit pack price, which is 350, but the normal unit selling price see here is 400 naira. So once I update, automatically the system knows we are dealing with 20. The pack price is 350, so we have 7,000 for the 2 pack. So that's how you sell in pack, right? Okay, so having looking at that, let's just skim through some of our financial reports. So we have our sales report here, which shows you everything that you're selling. The total says all the items that you are selling. So you see the cash, the POS, the transfer. If there's credit, it shows you your credit and it shows you the total here, right? So if you want to see only the cash sales, you see it there. If you want to see only the POS sales, see it there. We have the transfer sales and all that, right? So we have cashier report. Now cashier report shows you your different cashiers, how much each of them is collecting on a day-to-day basis, right? So we have our cashier report that shows you everything that cashier is receiving, everything the cashier is selling. So right, so you see this cashier, this is total cash he has collected, total POS, total transfer. So if you have multiple persons using the system, multiple cashiers, once their shift is due, you can come and say, okay, let me see what you have collected, how much. So system shows you the total, right? So if I click on this, it shows me all the items this person sells. To prove that, let's sell using another person. I think we have user, or let's use this guy on no star, right? So sell. If you're still on the main office, let's say this person sell Panadol. Sorry, I'm using Panadol all the time. So let's say it sold a pack of Panadol. Payment type is cash, for example, save and print. So once I refresh, you can only see what he has sold, which is this, right? But you as the admin, you can see everything. If you go back here, click here, you see total sales is 23,000. If I click on it, it shows me my sales report. You see here at the bottom, you see the person that posted this last one. You see the name is showing here on Nostar James. So if we go back to that cashier report, you will see here that we have 2 cashiers now, right? See what this person has sold. So you see he's collected only cash. So you see the total cash we have here, total POS, total transfer, and all of that. Okay. So we've looked at revenue by category, like I said before. So you see each category. If I click on supermarket, shows you all the supermarket items. Click on pharmacy, shows you that. So you can also select a date range for all of these reports. So you want to see what you have sold, your revenue by category on a particular day to a particular day. So we have our profit and loss statement on a day-to-day basis, which is our income statement. So you see based on your revenue, your cost of goods sold, your operating expense, gives you your net profit for the day. If you want to see your net profit from a particular month, you can select the first day of the month down to the last day or the current day you search. It gives you everything. So let's look at this operating expense. How do we post our operating expense? We'll go to financial management and you see, just click on post expense, select the transaction date, select your expense head. See, we have 2 expense head here. The expense head you want there is not there. You can add more expense head by clicking on add expense head. Let's say we want to add transportation as an expense head. I want to add salaries and wages as an expense. You can add that. So go to post expense, select it. Let's say utility. Let's say we spend 10,000 naira. So you can put a detailed description of that. Let's say we bought fuel. So we bought fuel for diesel, for one generator. I'll pay the particular levy for government and blah blah blah, just like that. So click on post expense. Immediately you click on post expense, you come here, you see now daily expense as 10,000 naira. So you can click on this, you see to see, and whoever posts that expense, whoever has the right. So like I said, Dorthpro have different variants. There are some of our clients that say, oh, they want the expense for every expense that is posted. It must be authorized first. So depending on what you want. So there is a version of Dorthpro, like sorry, let me go to a local version of one of the this thing. So if you look here, in here you see this is another version of Dorthpro entirely. In here there's a CRM integrated in this one, so you can send SMS to your client, to your customers as well. There we also have patient menu where you can go for prescription, you can prescribe, you can even do consultation for your patient. It's more like an hospital thing. You can do a consultation. There's another variant. It doesn't do consultation, you only do prescription, just prescribe. You can, while prescribing for that patient, you can edit the price of that particular item. Maybe you want to increase the price for that particular item, and you can increase it. You don't want to use the main price of the that you've placed on these items. You want to give your own prescription price, you can do that. You can consult for a patient. Let's say you put in the name of the patient, click, or you can view the patient history, all the consultation. You see the last 3 consultations here, and you put in the present complaint, more like an hospital settings. Put it here, history of complaints, primary diagnosis, put in everything. Then you start putting prescription if you want to prescribe. Put your consultation status. If you want to follow up, you select the next meeting date. Once you set up a next meeting, the system automatically sends a message to the person that they are due for consultation for follow-up for a particular day. So if you, even for posting of expense, you see you post an expense here. Let's say utility 2000 naira, select payment option. Let's say it's cash you used to make that payment. Put in here, post your expense, right? So once you post the expense, it doesn't go to hit your expense ledger. You have to authorize the expense first. So you can either reject or authorize that expense. Once you authorize the expense, then expense authorized, then that is when it will now hit your expense ledger. Okay, so that's for that. So in here, you also want to call posting end of day. You know, this is another variant, like I said. So there are cases where some customers, some of our clients, they want to compare what the system recorded against what the cashiers are issuing to them. So at the end of the day, so before the cashier should issue any money to them, after doing their sales, they need to come and post it manually on the system as well. So each cashiers will come posting their total cash they've sold, posting the transfer, POS, if there's any credit, you post it there. So once you are posting, system is automatically calculating the total sales. Let's say transfer, let's say they wrote 800, POS, let's say it's 10,000. You can see total sales is being calculated here. Credit, if there's no credit, you leave it. Customer change, maybe there's a change you're supposed to give to customer but you have not given to the customer, so you are holding 1,000. The change returned, let's say customer returned a change, then maybe you returned change to customer already and you took it from total, from the money already you have. Let's say you return 500. Then debt paid, maybe customers came to pay the debt that they owe. How much was the debt paid? Let's say 3,000. So debt paid, we give it with cash, which is POS, which is transfer. Then the expense you made for the day, you post it. If there's any other details, you post it. So once this cashier posts this end of day, what happens is that the system compares this with the total sales for that day. If you go to financial report, there's something we call view end of day. If you click on it, it shows you all the comprehensive end of day for that person. So you see it shows you all the staffs using the software, and shows you all of them and shows you their end of day for that particular day. For example, you see we're not started to created here, it's not here. Okay, so I posted as an admin, so that's why mine is not showing. So it compares it to see what this cashier entered, if it's actually correct. You can see cash sales, transfer, POS, recorded value, and cashier entry. It gives you the variance if there's a difference, so you can use to check them out. So in here, this variant also gives commissions to your staffs, your sales job. So you can set up a commission for your staff, and it gives you every month. You see your monthly commissions as they're selling, tells them this amount, just like a way to reward your staffs, right? So like I said, there are different variants of Dorthpro depending on what our clients want. So in here, other reports, we have your expense report, we have your wholesale report showing you only your wholesale transactions. You can click here to view. Then we have our customer statement, which shows you your customer statement. So it shows you every transaction a customer has made. You want to check, you click here, you select the customer statement. Let's say we created a customer, right? Let's say Jacob Murphy. You clicked Jacob Murphy, you click on it, so it shows you all the transactions Jacob Murphy has done with you. You can click on this to shows you everything, right? So we have a credit sales debtors report. Those that are owing you, see here we have some debtors here. View, show you which items make up that transaction. Okay, then we have debt payment report, customers payment, and all. So there are a whole lot of things here. So I think with all of this, this is enough for now. So like I said, whatever you require, we customize it to suit you, so it's easy to navigate. So there's a whole lot of things that if you want us to add to it, we can also add to it. So if you go to a report, there's still some other report like stock adjustment report. You see all those things we were doing back then. There's a report for everything: item removal, who removed an item and why it was removed. There's purchase report, we looked at that already. So there's an item, we looked at that. There's highest selling items, shows you items that you've sold, that have generated the most revenue for you today. So you want to see current quantity is 28 and most sold in terms of revenue is 82. Then we have most sold item in terms of quantity, that's the fastest moving item. Okay, all right. So there are a whole lot of things to this, like I said. So under the admin, we've looked at a whole lot of things. You can change the category of an item. You can also manage your item price. Maybe they call you and there's a change in the prices of this item. You don't want to go and change price while receiving the item. You just come to manage item price, put in the name of the item, click on it. Okay, so you can see all the prices here. Change the ones you want to change and save. That's it. Alright, then you can also update the barcode of your item. Maybe there's a mistake, or you want to change you want to start entering barcode. Alright, you can change it there. You can change the logos that you want to be appearing, or you can change the name of your supermarket and the name of your pharmacy, change the name or change the logo that will be appearing on top of your receipt and all that. So you can change it. Then you can also update the details of your store. Maybe you want to change the phone number or the name or the address. So the phone number and the address that will be appearing on the receipt, you can change it there. Then also you can delete an item. Maybe there are duplicates of these items and you want to delete one, you can delete it. But if an item has a transaction, maybe there's quantity on it, you cannot delete that item. You can, however, merge items that are similar. You know they have been selling from those two items. You can merge them, taking the correct one and taking the wrong one here. So if you cannot merge similar items, so select it. Once you merge it, what system does is that it deletes the wrong one and merge all the transactions done on the wrong one or the correct one, right? So you can also print price tag for those people that uses price tag in supermarkets and pharmacies. So instead of writing your price tags and putting it on the shelf, you can print it and just place it under the items. For example, Panadol Extra, I click on it, shows me the name of your pharmacy, and you just log in there. Okay, right. So I believe you get that. Okay, so in here, so that's the essence of printing price tag. So you can just select the name, let's say Nivea Men, click on it, shows you everything, put in the amount there. So you just print it out from your printer and you just do that. So there's a video on our YouTube channel that shows you how to set up your receipt printer, Tama receipt printer on your system, and also how to create a shortcut in the video. Okay, so you can always contact us for more information and anything. So I believe this video is helpful to you on how to understand Dorthpro and how to navigate around it. So thank you so much. Remember, we always take feedback on how to improve on our software. So do have a nice day. Remember, we also make softwares on all types of businesses. We have hotel softwares, we have lounge hotels, we have softwares for laboratories, for hospitals, and so on and so forth, for all forms of business, even for production. So you can always reach out to us. Thank you for listening. So have a nice time.